continuing our tight end talk, because we love talking about tight ends on this show. So pictures of Travis Kelce are making the rounds online. People are talking about his weight, and not because we're paparazzi and all this stuff, not because we're all in the entertainment world. Talking about his weight because, he was talking at an Amazon Prime event where he said he's dropped 25 pounds this offseason, which ties directly back to when Pat McAfee read his text off on his show saying that, quote, "I'm going to try to get back to the best shape I've been this offseason, get back to the mountaintop." So, many said that Travis looked a little slower last year, looked maybe a little thicker during the year last year. And obviously, if he's dropped 25 pounds, maybe he wants to get back into that good shape that he was in during his career. And many are speculating. I've seen our guy Cole, who's on his show, kind of highlighted he's lost weight. Hopefully, he can get back to his Mr. YAC ability that he always portrayed throughout his career, of being able to kind of get YAC yards after catch. Now, JD, when you see Kelce, and I'll go to a full here. These are the two photos that people were talking about him looking as thin, or leaner, I would say. But this is a photo from the Amazon Prime event where he looked thin and where he actually talked about how he lost 25 pounds to reporters there. Now, it's one thing to text Pat McAfee and say, "Hey, I'm going to try to get back into shape, get back to the mountaintop." It's another thing to actually go out and do it, right? He's lost 25 pounds this offseason, so he says. JD, what does this tell you about kind of Travis Kelce's mindset on going into the season, on potentially being his last season, but as well as he's dropped 25 pounds and he's ready to kind of rock and get back after it this year?
It tells me that, he's serious. That's what it tells me. So let me give context here. He said he dropped 25 pounds. So it means he probably picked up a lot of weight during the off season after, it was all over, right? Just kind of enjoyed himself, sat back. I mean, look, him and his brother, Jason, they're built, they could carry pounds on them. You know what I'm saying? He could probably still be 265 and still look the same weight. And so he could have been, like I said, 265, during the off season. And, because he was having a good time. No telling what he could have got up to. No telling. But the 25 pounds in itself is a good thing. That just tells me that what he's doing is getting his body ready for the last hurrah. And so that 25 pounds, I'm thinking Travis is going to play somewhere around 245, 250, maybe, is where he's going to be. So he can kind of still be thin and light, but still be strong. You know what I'm saying? So whatever extra he had on, he's saying, I'm going to cut all that up. I'm going to get back down to the best shape and, tighten everything up as much as he can. So I think that's what it is. But Marcus just tells me, man, the man's serious. The man's serious. He's about to go out on his shield. That's what this thing is all about. And so he understands this. This is, like we said before, all intents and purposes, what we heard. This is going to be his last season. And so why not go and do it right? So I'm sure he's been working his tail off, and that's good for him.
Sasha brings up a good point. He's just kind of asking, is that a bit too much to me, right? Because if you look at his player profile on the website, which, as you know, JD, those player profiles aren't exact. Because when are you doing that? Before the season, after the season? When are they weighing these guys? But Kelce was listed at 250 on the player profile on the Chiefs page. If he lost 25 pounds, he's at 225? I mean, you don't think he's at 225, do you?
No, not at all. Not at all. Not in the slightest. I don't think he would be effective at 225. The thing is, when you lose 25 pounds, what do you lose the most of? Is it muscle? Is it fat? All the extra things. So him leaning up, losing 25 pounds, it's not him coming down from 250. I'm sure he picked up weight during all season, and he lost, whatever he picked up all season to where he is now today, adding it all together. So that's it. He ain't down to no 225. I guarantee that. He don't look like no 225 right there. He's right there besides Jason. I mean, he still look about 245. So, yeah, he shoot.
So what do you think his plane will be right around 250, you think?
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Definitely. Yeah.
Man, so you got to 275? Woo-wee.
I mean, I'm not sure what he got up to.
Right.
He lost 25 pounds, so it could have been from what I don't know exactly where he was. Right. Like I said, he could have been 270 or 265, got 235. He's still going to put another 10 pounds of muscle on. So he's got to build himself back up especially now, to see how he's going to be able to transition for his last year. Because it's a lot of it. A lot of it is, can I play effectively at a lower weight, depending on what it is. So whatever weight Travis wants to play in, he'll know. He'll know. I'm sure he's got a nutritionist, all those different things that's talking to him as far as dealing with this. I'll tell you who else dealt with this. Was Gonzalez. Gonzalez, he dropped pounds and stuff like that. It went to more of a plant-based diet just to be healthier. And it helped him. It helped him play a longer time. Sure, the Joker played for 17 years, and a lot of it was what he was able to tweak and during the off season to get him to be the best he could possibly be.
Well, that's interesting because I read one of these. I think it's hilarious with Travis Kelce now is that there's honestly more articles about him from these tabloid websites than there are like sports websites anymore, which is pretty comical at this point. But I was trying to do a little bit more research on this, and I read from one of the either People or Entertainment Weekly that the 25 pounds could potentially been coming from obviously working out, but Taylor also is a vegan. She has a vegan diet. So kind of what you said with Tony, kind of how it went more plant-based. Maybe he went and kind of dabbled in that this offseason. If he was trying to get down on weight, maybe he dabbled with that. And that, because when you say Tony went to kind of a plant-based diet, then maybe that is kind of like where he maybe kind of went toward that kind of extreme with it.
Yeah. Because a lot of it helps with, information, recovery from injuries. So I'm not sure what all that entails. I'm just giving you an example of what somebody else did, like Tony, how he just changed his diet up and whatnot to be leaner, to be better. The recovery was better. It was quicker. So all these things took place. And I think during the season, he started to incorporate a little bit more like animal protein, because nutritionists is like, look, you still need protein, good protein, to still do some of the things you need to do, right? To help grow your muscles and whatnot that that's necessary. So, especially going to take a lot of hits and whatnot. So that's it.
Yeah.
We ain't playing badminton and volleyball out there, Marcus. So they're going to get hit.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. And also too, if he felt, and I think one thing it kind of speaks to is kind of talking about his mindset's if he does want to trim up a little bit, maybe he just thought he was slower. Maybe this could be kind of his thing to kind of get back into his, being the Travis that he wants to be, right? He feels he needs to lose the weight. That's great. It also too kind of ties into what we talked about earlier on in the week. We talked about Noah Gray kind of having a little bit more of a role. Maybe Kelce wants to cut some weight. Maybe he's not gonna be able to feel as much as we had seen before. Maybe he's gonna be more of a, not saying they're gonna take away from rundowns or whatnot, because obviously we know what he can do in the blocking game. But maybe he kind of prioritize more being on the field as more of a vertical threat kind of thing this year, being more his usual kind of receiving self, not maybe in the blocking game as much. I don't know. Just trying to think of ways if he is losing all this weight here. And obviously, we don't know how much he's going to be. His end weight's going to be, but maybe they utilize him more in the passing game rather than not utilizing him on all three downs.
I don't know. There's some, like I said, they'll talk about it and discuss it. Like I said, all of this is dropping 25 pounds. That's why OTAs is so important, right? Because you have time to make those adjustments to see where you are physically and see how the body responds to it. So,
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Linda Hunter, I was hoping to get through the Travis segment without hearing about Taylor. It's not that I don't like her, but it's going to be nice.
Oh, why, Linda?
I'll say this. I mean, honestly, we didn't really. We said that Taylor has a vegan diet. That's pretty much it. But I will say this: the Taylor Swift stuff is kind of in a way where people complain about seeing her during games. If you guys watched any Knicks games over the last week, and so the playoffs, I've seen more Timothée Chalamet in those games than I have ever seen Taylor Swift in a Chiefs game before. They can just constantly keep showing Timothée Chalamet on the sideline. I don't hear anyone complaining about seeing Timothée Chalamet all the time. I think it's obnoxious. I think the kid's obnoxious as heck. But nonetheless, we're complaining about Taylor Swift, but we see Timothée Chalamet. No one turns a blind eye to it. No one's saying anything. Oh man, I've seen way too much Timothée Chalamet. It's like whatever. It's a celebrity at a game. That's what it is.
Listen, we understand it. It's star power there. And so these two jokers, man, they at the hip with each other right now. So that's part of what this thing is going to be, right? I mean, really, I don't mind it. Shoot, I mean, Taylor's going to be brought up, because it is what it is, right? she's a huge icon in the whole world. So she's gonna be brought up. But other than that, man, we talking about Travis though. We just talking about Travis. Ain't like we talk about a new album, what she's coming out next week with,
Yeah.
what she's doing, But
Well,
yeah,
and also too, like the influence of a partner. Like we're talking about guys losing weight, and she's a vegan, and we talk about certain guys who have gone plant-based diets, the TB12 diets, TG's diet. Like I mean, a partner who has influence on that. So, but yeah, and I think someone said he's been.
Go ahead.
What were you gonna say? I would say somebody in the chat said that Travis has been in Florida with his trainer pretty much all throughout the offseason so far as well. Yeah. So of course he has a trainer. Yeah. Of course he's got that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. It's good. She's good for business,
Sasha, if you love the NFL, appreciate the money and exposure Taylor brings for the players. For sure. And John Marshall's probably gained weight for movie roles. I love 87, but the minute he retires, I won't be looking for or caring what he does. These guys got to realize their power comes from being in the NFL after we don't care. Oh, come on. I'm still going to hear the New Heights stuff and see what Travis is up to. Just like I care about what TG's doing.
Yeah. Listen, look, if you become a fan, I think it's part of what you do for anybody that you might have adulation for. Okay. And you've been a fan of. You still hear about it, no matter who it is, whoever, old rock stars and stuff. What are they doing, man? Like I seen a picture, man, with David Lee Roth and somebody else. I'm like, man, look at David Lee. Like, oh my gosh, right? And so, those guys, you still care. I mean, if you really care about them on the field, I think you have somewhat of a investment on how they're doing, just because you've been following them for some time, right? And you was a fan of them. So it was something else that you like about the guy other than just playing football.
Exactly.
Yeah. Noah John, I don't care. So Noah John, you don't care nothing about me, man? I don't play no more, brother.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Good point. Noah John, you outed yourself, buddy. Stanley Mooney, what was Tony Romo's girl back in the day? Everyone was making a big deal of that too. That was Taylor's family, 100%. Jessica Simpson. Yeah. I think they had a reality show together, I believe.
Did they?
Well, I think she had a reality show. And he was on a few episodes of the reality show. I think it was VH1 or MTV at the time.
Okay. That joke was happy to be with her boy.
He was.
Yeah. So always smiling.
But Kelce lost some weight, and hopefully he's getting back to his old ways, and hopefully his YAC can return to what we've seen in the past. But again, like we talked about on Monday, he was still top 5 in categories. We're comparing Kelce now to what Kelce was, a couple of years ago. He's still top 5 in the league, and I think a lot of these guys in the league would love to have the numbers Kelce's even displaying, even at this point in his career, which is crazy, honestly.
Yeah, we understand also too where someone that hate comes in. Somebody said that, like Hannah said, jealous people are the ones that have problem with Taylor. Yeah, and it could be whatever affiliation you are politically, and it goes into that whole different thing. And you respect people for what they do. You know what I mean? Taylor, she ain't hurt nobody. So,
yeah, she's literally just a girlfriend who happens to be one of the most famous people in the world. But
hey man, shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. That's the thing I know.
No, John. Haha. Well, you educate me about the Chiefs. Chiefs universe still stay Chief related. Then I'm in. All right. And I think he'll still be doing that with his show, New Heights. He'll still, it's become kind of a more broad NFL show, but he does talk about Chief stuff. So I'm 100% like with TG, JD, how they always ask about Chief stuff. It's gonna be the same stuff with Kelce.
Oh yeah, but how do you not like a guy like this? Like you would just want to know what he's doing, right? Because of his character and charisma, right? I mean, you just want to be able to see it and know what he's doing, So good stuff.
For sure. And Linda, we know you're a big Kelce fan, and we love you, Linda. We love you. All right, so now we're gonna get to some. Okay. So Brother Rick's got a question. I appreciate the contribution, Brother Rick. Hey, Jason, I've been watching games on YouTube when you played. If the Chiefs had decent defense back then, you'd at least have one ring. We kind of talked about when Warfield was on the show a lot, which was kind of one of those things.
Yeah. Listen, I don't ever throw my guys under the bus. I think part of it also could have been the system. I hear a lot of guys talk about that. On the G-Rob system, man, was a little bit geared more for when they went with Denver. So when he came here, we had different personnel. So guys who should talk about those things. But man, we had a chance. We had a shot, man. We was 13-3. We should have won that year. That is a fact. We let that one go. We let that one slip, man. We let that one slip. It was the game that, no punts in the game. And it boiled down to who was going to make a mistake. And we made a mistake in that game. And they capitalized on it. And they beat us. So had a first round bye. We should have won it. We was the best team in the NFL, hands down. Hands down, brother. So it's crazy. I agree with you, brother Rick. Those guys did their best, man. It just we had good guys. We had guys out there, man, that could play good ball. But just didn't work out, man. So
we'll always have this banner though, JD. My 2003 AFC West. My 2003 AFC West banner right there, baby.
Yeah.
That was a fun one.
I always tell it, this is the reason why it's so hard to get to the Super Bowl. People this era of guys, people watching the Chiefs who are just fans, I don't think they understand the difficulty of actually making it to the Super Bowl. The guys that make there, 5 out of the last 6 years is as exceptional. So, unprecedented, really. Shoot. Nobody else has been able to do this type of things except, obviously, New England and, the things that they had during that time. Extremely difficult. So,
but the thing that's so special about this current team is like when people talk about getting the Super Bowl, right? The Super Bowl predictions every year. I remember a lot of those years, those Patriots teams, like people just didn't buy them because they didn't have a lot of like it wasn't a sexy team, right? So every year, so when the team, I remember the CBS crew, the Fox crew would always give their preseason predictions of the Super Bowl. It wasn't that many people who were picking the Patriots, and they would still get there even in the midst of the dynasty. But with the Chiefs, it's like not out of the ordinary. Like there's multiple people on every crew saying, "Oh, the Chiefs are going to be the team that goes to the Super Bowl this year. They may not win it, but they're going to get there." And it's like that's like what you said. I mean, it's insane to say how easy it is for people to just say, "Yeah, I think the Chiefs have a shot to make the Super Bowl again." It's like again. I mean, we love that obviously, but it's just crazy, and because it's like so uncommon that you see that kind of stuff.
They made it the norm. They made it the norm to get to the Super Bowl playoffs and all those different things. That's our standard, right? As I have up here all the time, the Chiefs standards becomes the standard. And so, it is what it is. Chiefs standard becomes the standard. That's a fact. So, just spoiled with that, man.
100%. G-Pick says it right there. I dreamed of this as a kid. Yeah.
We in a spot, G-Pick. Hey, man. We are in a great spot.
Yeah. G-Pick, we were also lucky to witness this dynasty 100%.
Yes, sir.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.